Hello, little readers and listeners. It's Lynne Maynor with Pencil. We're a pencil partner. As a pencil partner, that means that our business and myself support McGavock High School, and we also support our Two Rivers Middle School, which we do a lot of reading with our students to make sure that they're learning some good reading skills, because reading is so important. Matter of fact, it's my favorite thing to do. And I picked out another wonderful story today. Our story is Never Too Little to Love by Jean Willis and Jan Fernelli. All right, it's a tall book, isn't it? Jackson, are you listening to my story today? He kind of joined us today. He likes to listen to me read as well. All right, let's start. Never Too Little to Love. This is Tiny Too Little. He loves somebody. Here's Tiny Too Little. He's a teeny tiny little mouse. You can see he's sending up hearts because he loves somebody. But she's way up there. We can't even see her, can we? And that's a long, long way if you're tiny and you really want a kiss. He tries to reach her. I wonder how he's going to get to reach her. Let's see. But he's far too little, even on his tiptoes. He's stepping on his tiptoes. Even on a thimble. So he stands on a thimble trying to reach her. See, he's on the thimble and he's sending up his love. He's trying to kiss her. He's too little even on tiptoes. So what does he get? He's going to add a matchbox. A matchbox where we put our little matches to light our candles, right? So he's carrying the matchbox and he's going to put it on top of the thimble. So now he's standing on top of a matchbox, which is on top of a thimble. There he is. Can you see it? And he's still sending up his love kisses. There's the mouse. Teeny tiny. Let's see what he's going to do next. He's too little even on his tiptoes on a watermelon. Ever stood on a watermelon? That's hard, isn't it? So now he's on the watermelon, which is on top of the matchbox, which is on top of the thimble. Can you see that? Here's the watermelon, the matchbox, and what is that called again? A thimble. He still can't reach her. He's too little even on his tiptoes. So what did he get next? What is that? It's a teacup. So now he's got a teacup on top of a watermelon, on top of a matchbox, on top of a thimble. I got to think that's a wobbly little thing, but let's see how he's doing. There he is. He's reaching on his tiptoes on top of the cup, the teacup, and then the watermelon, and then the matchbox and the thimble. I think he's trying out for the circus. What do you think? He's too little even on his tiptoes. So he grabs what? Looks like some lettuce, but it says cabbage. Cabbage and lettuce look a lot alike, don't they? So now he's on top of the cabbage, which is on top of the what? The teapot, which is on top of the watermelon, which is on top of the matchbook, which is on top of the thimble. And he still can't reach her. He is really tiny, isn't he? He's too little even on his tiptoes on a candle. Can you see the candlestick? On top of the cabbage, on top of the teacup, on top of the watermelon, on top of the matchbook. And what's that called again? A thimble. That's what people use when they're sewing so they don't press their thumb too hard. And he still can't reach her. He's too little even on tiptoes on a clock, which is on a candle, which is on the cabbage, on top of a teacup. And you guys know the rest, right? The watermelon, and then the matchbook, and then a thimble. And he still can't reach her. He's too little even on tiptoes on a cupcake. I'm not even sure I would stand on a cupcake. I would just want to rather eat it. But he's standing on a cupcake, which is on top of the clock, which is on top of what? The candlestick, which is on top of the cabbage on the teacup, and the watermelon, and the matchbook, and the thumb. And he's still not there. That's quite wobbly. What do you think? He's too little even on his tiptoes on stilts. Have you ever been on stilts? Those are those little stick legs that you get on top of and then you walk. They make you really tall. That's a good idea. Let's see if he manages that one. Let's see. He's on top of the stilts, which is on top of the cupcake. Imagine the mouse is not eating the cupcake. That's pretty brave of him. And then on top of the clock, which is on top of the candlestick, which is on top of the what? Yeah, the cabbage. I heard that. And the teacup. And then the watermelon. And then the matchbook. And the thimble. Ooh, he's got a good balancing act going on there. Tiny Too Little reaches way up, and then he wobbles, and he's wobbling, and he's even more wobbling. Look at all that wobbling. He's still managing to balance somehow. Then, oh what, he crashes. Kaboom! And all the stuff went everywhere. Oh, Tiny Too Little. Topsy Too Tall sees Tiny Too Little, and she loves him. Look, isn't she sweet? Look at her little crown of daisies. But he's way down there, and she's way up here. It's a long way down if you're tall, but it's even longer way up if you're tiny. So she bends down and gives him what? She bends down and gives him a kiss. Can you feel that smack? There it is. A great big kiss. Which just goes to show you that even if you are tiny, you are never too little to love. We learned about love today. So we can love, can't we? Absolutely. And we can love, what was my prop again? Oh yeah, I found it. Love big, even if we're too tiny or too tall. Love is for everybody. So let's love today. Let's give somebody a big hug at home. We can't hug anybody else because we have to stay 6 feet apart. But we can love at home. But you can hug your stuffed animals all day long in that process. And I'll love on Jackson over here. He's sleeping. All right, stay tuned for the next one. Oh yeah, I got my kids chat. You almost forgot about that one. We can't remember. We can't forget that. Shout out a number again. I can hear some numbers. What was that? 51. What is your favorite thing to talk about when you are with your friends? Do you like to talk about school, or do you like to talk about other people? Do you like to talk about people are wearing, what we're going to have for lunch today, what we're going to do? What do you talk about with your friends? That's your question for the day. All right, till next time, have a good day. And remember to love big, tiny and big.